My father had just been lowered into the ground, a gaping wound in my soul, when my phone vibrated. I glanced down, expecting condolences, but what I saw instead ripped through the last shred of my composure and ignited a cold, hard fury I didn't know I possessed. It was my wife, Kendra, and her words were an emotional gut punch. I was standing there, my father's graveside, my mother sobbing into my shoulder, the weight of grief almost unbearable. Kendra, who had dramatically excused herself from the funeral an hour earlier for a work emergency, texted, "Still at that depressing thing? Stop being so dramatic. He was old anyway, coming home late, going clubbing with the girls. You need to get over this moping already. It's been 3 days. 3 days. 3 days since my dad, my rock, died suddenly of a heart attack." My mother saw my face fall, her own grief momentarily forgotten. "What's wrong, honey?" she asked, her voice thick with sorrow. "Nothing, Mom." I managed, forcing a weak smile. "Just work stuff." But it wasn't work stuff. It was the end. A single, chilling word was all I typed back. Enjoy. In that moment, watching the earth cover my father, a decision that had been brewing for months solidified into an unbreakable resolve. Kendra's complete lack of empathy wasn't new, but this outright disrespect during my father's funeral was a line I never thought anyone would cross. It was unforgivable. I pulled my cousin Pete, a contractor who owned a moving company, aside. He looked at me, bewildered, as I showed him the text. His face, usually jovial, went completely dark. That bitch," he muttered. "Okay, what do you need, bro?" I looked him dead in the eye. "Everything that's mine out of my house today, while she's clubbing." Pete didn't hesitate. "Done. The boys are actually free. Was going to give them the day off of the funeral, but they need the hours." I made my excuses to Mom, claiming urgent paperwork for Dad's estate. She, knowing Dad's business-first mentality, understood. By 2 p.m., I was back at my house, not in morning clothes, but in a haze of icy determination, with Pete and 4 of his strongest guys. My brother-in-law, Jerome, a sharp lawyer, was on speakerphone, already drafting emergency divorce papers. Kendra, in her self-centered world, had never bothered to distinguish between what was mine, hers, or ours. It turned out almost everything was mine. Most of the furniture I'd bought before marriage or inherited from my grandmother. The TV, gaming systems, kitchen appliances, all purchased by me, with receipts to prove it. Even her precious wine collection was housed in a wine fridge I'd bought myself as a birthday present. The movers were surgical, efficient. My grandmother's dining set, which Kendra had always called too old-fashioned, went first. Then the living room furniture, bought with my first big bonus. My entire home office, desk, chair, computer, monitors, the works. The bedroom set, acquired before we even met. Every kitchen appliance except the microwave, which, ironically, was hers. My books, vinyl records, tools, the smart TV, the entertainment system, even the good towels, a wedding gift from my side of the family. What did I leave for her? Her clothes and makeup, neatly piled in a corner. That microwave, her yogurt maker, used exactly once. The hideous couch her mom had given us. One pathetic folding chair from the garage. Her personal photos and mementos. And just to twist the knife a little further, I canceled all utilities effective the next day. They were in my name anyway. Then I changed the locks. The building manager, knowing the lease was solely in my name from 2 years before our marriage, was surprisingly cool about it. Jerome had the divorce papers ready by 4 p.m. An uncontested filing, citing irreconcilable differences. Very generous, really. She'd get her car, which she was still making payments on, her personal belongings, and nothing else. No alimony, given that she made a solid $90,000 at her marketing job to my $70,000. I left the papers on the floor where her pillow would have been had I not taken to bed. And next to them, a printed copy of her text with a simple, stark note. Enjoyed my evening handling my father's affairs. Your belongings are in the corner. Utilities in tomorrow. You have 30 days to move per lease requirements. Don't contact me except through lawyers. Then I went to my mom's house. And for the first time in what felt like an eternity, we just looked through Dad's old photos and cried together, like normal people do when they lose someone. If you're finding this story as unbelievable as I lived it, now would be a great time to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, more stories like this are always on the horizon. 48 hours later, the universe started to deliver. Kendra stumbled home at 4:17 a.m., drunk. My Ring doorbell, still sending me notifications, captured the whole pathetic scene. Her fumbling with the old key, her slow dawning realization it didn't work, then the confusion, the panic, and finally, finding the lockbox with the new key Jerome had insisted I leave for 30-day access. The scream that erupted when she finally got inside woke up 3 neighbors. Mrs. Patterson even called the cops, thinking someone was being murdered. By 6 a.m., the text started. 67 of them in 2 hours. It was a fascinating evolution. WTF? 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 Where's everything? This isn't funny. Bring it back. You can't do this. I was joking about your dad. You're overreacting. I'm calling the police. Followed by, the police say it's a civil matter. Please answer me. You're being abusive. I'll destroy you in court. I called Jerome. He just laughed. She can't destroy anything, he said. No kids, short marriage. She makes $90,000 to your $70,000. And you have documented cruelty during a family death. The judge will laugh her out of court. Then came the flying monkeys. Her mom, Deidre, called hysterical. How could you leave my baby with nothing? I patiently explained. She has her personal belongings and a folding chair. I took my property, premarital, and inherited items. I have all the receipts. Deidre insisted, but she was grieving too. Your father was like family to her. I couldn't help but ask, really? Which funeral home was she grieving at last night? Tequila Sunrise or Club Paradise? That shut her up. Her best friend, Astrid, tried next. You need therapy. This is psychotic behavior. I snapped back. What psychotic is texting stop being dramatic. He was old anyway about someone's dead father during the burial. Astrid floundered. She didn't mean it like that. How did she mean it, Astrid? Like, stop being so sad at his funeral? There was a long pause. Well, when you say it like that. Goodbye, Astrid. But the best part, the truly satisfying part, involved Kendra's job. She had told her boss she needed 3 days off for a family emergency and even got bereavement leave, claiming her father-in-law, who was like a father to her, had died. Remember that clubbing night? She posted everything on Instagram. Stories of shots, dancing on tables, making out with some random dude. Captioned, living my best life. Freedom Friday. Her co-worker, Heather, who followed Kendra and had to cover Kendra's emergency workload, missing her own anniversary dinner to handle Kendra's Friday presentation. Saw it all. Heather took screenshots. Heather sent them to their boss with the subject line, Kendra's family emergency Thursday night. Kendra wasn't fired, but she got a written warning and lost her quarterly bonus. That's $5,000 gone. She tried to contest the divorce, claiming emotional trauma. The judge gave her 30 days to respond, but refused to delay the initial filing. Week 2, and Kendra's entitlement went nuclear. First, she tried to break back in while I was at work. I came home to find the door damaged and her inside, trying to move my grandmother's china cabinet. This is still my home for 18 more days, she shrieked. And breaking and entering is a crime, I calmly replied. You can't prove I broke in. I live here. I showed her the Ring footage of her literally crowbarring the door open. The police are on their way, I said. She ran, leaving the crowbar behind. The cops took a report, but because she technically still lived there, they said it was complicated. Property damage, however, was a crime. I didn't press charges, but I documented everything. Then she got crafty. She filed a restraining order, claiming I was financially abusing her by taking all the furniture. The judge took one look at my receipts and her $90,000 salary versus my $70,000 and threw it out. But I still had to miss a day of work for court. The smear campaign started next. Facebook posts about being abandoned by a narcissist during her time of grief. What grief? She literally posted club videos the night of the funeral. My dad's sister, Aunt Ruth, absolutely destroyed her in the comments. Grief? You left Bob's funeral saying you had diarrhea, then posted yourself doing tequila shots 2 hours later. We all saw it. You're lucky all he did was take his furniture. Bob would have haunted your disrespectful ass forever. The post was deleted within an hour. But here's where she really, truly messed up. Remember that guy she was making out with at the club? Turns out he was married. His wife found the videos through a mutual friend. And guess what? His wife was a partner at Kendra's dream company, the one she'd been interviewing with for months. Suddenly, Kendra's final interview mysteriously got canceled. The rage texts that night were unhinged. You ruined my career. That job was mine. You must have called them. I'll sue you for interference. I didn't respond. I just forwarded them to Jerome. Then came the extinction-level stupid move. She tried to sell my dad's tools. I'd moved them from the house to Mom's garage for safekeeping. But Kendra knew where the spare key was hidden. She loaded up Dad's entire tool collection, some vintage stuff from his father, worth probably $15,000 in total, and listed them on Facebook Marketplace. My uncle saw the listing and called me immediately. This time, I drove over with the police. She was in the garage, negotiating with some bewildered buyer. Those are stolen property, I told the buyer, showing them Dad's will, which clearly stated the tools were left to me, and his death certificate dated 2 weeks ago. The buyer ran. Kendra tried to play it off. I thought they were communal property. The cop was not amused. Ma'am, you're selling items from an estate that's still in probate. That's theft. He's my husband. It's partly mine. Ex-husband, I corrected. And no, inheritance isn't marital property. She got arrested. Actually arrested. She spent a night in jail before Deidre bailed her out. The charges were eventually dropped. Jerome negotiated that in exchange for her signing the divorce papers immediately. But her employer found out about the arrest. Another write-up. She was now 1 strike from termination. Week 3. Kendra's world was collapsing. She couldn't afford the apartment alone. Our rent was $2,200 a month, and despite making more than me, her insane spending habits, designer bags, weekly nail appointments, meant she lived paycheck to paycheck. Her solution? Move in with Deidre. But Deidre had conditions. No overnight guests, no drinking, church every Sunday, and $600 a month rent. Kendra lasted exactly 1 Sunday at church before she was caught on the church's security camera sneaking out during service to smoke weed in the parking lot. The pastor called Deidre. Meanwhile, my mom had been quietly devastating Kendra in the community. See, Mom had lived in our neighborhood for 40 years. She knew everyone, and she made sure everyone knew what Kendra had texted during Dad's funeral. The family hairdresser refused to do Kendra's hair for her important work event. The local grocery store manager, Mom's book club friend, always seemed to be out of whatever wine Kendra wanted. Her gym key card suddenly had technical issues every other day. Petty, maybe, but Mom was grieving and furious. Dad had been beloved in that community. He'd coached Little League for 20 years. Kendra's disrespect wasn't just to me, it was to his cherished memory. Then, Kendra made her final, most incredibly stupid move. She created a fake dating profile for me. Used my photos, my real name, my real job. But the bio? Recently divorced, looking for someone to take care of me financially. No fatties. Must be willing to pay for everything. I have mommy issues and daddy just died, so I'm emotionally unstable. A coworker's wife saw it, showed him, and he showed me. I was going to ignore it, but Jerome said, absolutely not. This is defamation and identity theft. We filed a police report and sued. Her lawyer, the cheapest she could find, tried to argue it was satire. The judge wasn't amused, especially when we showed the messages she'd sent to women who matched with me, saying things like, I have herpes and I'm actually married. Want to be my side piece? She was ordered to pay me $10,000 in damages. Money she absolutely did not have. It's been 2 months since Dad's funeral, and the divorce is final. Here's where everyone ended up. Kendra, fired from her job. The dating profile was the final straw. She's living in Deidre's basement, working part-time at a call center, owing me $10,000 that I'm garnishing her wages to get back. She posted about being a survivor of narcissistic abuse and got 3 likes. Her new boyfriend dumped her after he Googled her and found the arrest record. She tried to start a coaching business for women escaping toxic men and has exactly 0 clients. She sent me one last text last week. I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life over nothing. I replied, you destroyed your own life. I just stopped cushioning your fall. Then I blocked her. Deidre is stuck with Kendra indefinitely. She's had to put locks on her bedroom door because Kendra kept borrowing money. She's been unfriended by half her social circle, who were disgusted by the funeral incident. She posted about supporting her daughter through abuse, and the comments were just laughing emojis. The original Flying Monkeys actually apologized to me after seeing the actual funeral text. Other friends ghosted Kendra when they learned the truth. Her coworkers made a group chat specifically to share her messy social media posts. Me? I'm living in a nice 1-bedroom, closer to mom. I'm seeing a therapist because grief is real, even without all the drama. Dad's tools are displayed in my new place, and I think about him every time I use them. I got promoted at work. Turns out I was a lot less stressed without Kendra. I've started dating Rita from grief counseling. She gets it. Mom and I have dinner every Sunday. Mom is still quietly devastating Kendra through pure community networking. She even started a memorial scholarship in Dad's name. She goes to grief counseling with me sometimes. She told me Dad would be proud of how I handled everything. And she keeps one of the divorce papers framed in her craft room. My mom is savage. Last I heard through the grapevine, Kendra tried to crash Dad's memorial baseball game, which we now hold annually. The entire team formed a human wall. The photos were beautiful. My uncle gave a speech about respect for the departed while staring directly at her. She left crying. Do I feel bad? No. She texted, he was old anyway, while they were lowering my father into the ground. She went clubbing. While my family mourned, she tried to sell his tools. She made fake profiles. She attempted to destroy my reputation. All I did was take my furniture and leave papers where her pillow used to be. Everything else? That was just the universe giving her exactly what she deserved. Dad always said, son, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I should have believed her the first time she complained about having to attend my grandmother's funeral because it conflicted with a spa day. But hey, better late than never. To everyone asking, yes, I kept the crowbar she used to break in. It's displayed proudly next to Dad's tools, with a little label that says Exhibit A and Y, I'm single and happy. Rita thinks it's hilarious. Mom wants to bronze it. What would you have done in my place? Have you ever had someone show you who they truly were in such a dramatic way? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I really want to know.